Okay, so we're gonna play a type of kind of review game.
This is Michael.
Yes.
I can't find your screen.
Okay, go to the upper right-hand corner. There's gonna be two people. There's gonna be the comments, and there's gonna be the little triangle stuff. Go click on the people where it says 45. You're gonna click on the 45. You're gonna find my name twice. Click one of them to pin it. If it's the wrong one, pin the other one, okay? You don't want to see me personally. You want to see the cards, okay?
She left. Yeah, she left the meeting.
I don't know what to tell people. All right, anyways, we're going to play sort of a game. If we were in school, and if we weren't during COVID, it's called Scoo, and what you do is you get time, and like everyone gets to move around, and it's like fun, but we don't get to play a game because, you know, we're not at school, so instead, you're going to keep track of your own points. So what I have...
Mr. Michael?
Yes. Oh my goodness, please.
Someone removed me from the meeting. They literally just
and sometimes it removes you. It's fine. You're back in. That was not necessary for you to interrupt me. Okay? I'm saying directions. If you have something to say, type it in the chat. Okay? We're not interrupting Mrs. Kneifel anymore. So, we have all these task cards. Some of them are author's purpose. I have cause and effect, character traits. Anyways, all the things we've kind of already learned about this year in all of our stories. I have these itty bitty task cards, and I'm going to read it to you. Then we're going to multiple choice, pick the answer. You'll see as we go. And every time you get it right, I want you to give yourself a tally mark, just so at the end you can see how you did. If you don't do that, well, that's okay. That's why we're reviewing and why we're practicing, okay? So I'm going to read all the task cards because I know it might be a teeny bit blurry maybe. So, I'm going to read them to you, and I'm going to read you the answer choices. You're going to pick the answer choice. We're going to talk about the correct answer choice. If you get it right, you give yourself a tally mark. Are we ready to go? The first one is author's purpose, and we all know what author's purpose is. Do they write it to inform, persuade, or entertain? So it says, Great Danes are the best dogs in the world. Even though they're very large, they make good pets for people living in apartments because they don't move around much. You should get one. What is the author's purpose in writing this text? A, to persuade the reader to get a Great Dane. B, to share information about big dogs. Or C, to entertain with a dog story. You don't need to raise your hand if you have the answer. Just have it in your brain. I'm going to give us about 30. Please don't type it in the chat. I didn't ask you guys to do that. I want everyone to have a chance. We're going to give everyone like 30 seconds to answer. Please do not type it in the chat yet. I want everyone to have a chance to think about it in their brain. But since I already had some people type it in my chat, the correct answer is, everyone, A. It is to persuade readers to get a dog. The author is telling us all the reasons you need to get a Great Dane. So the author here is trying to persuade. So if you guessed A, give yourself a tally mark somewhere, whether it's on paper or your dry erase board. Just keep track. How many did you get right? Because I'm super curious. I want to see at the end how we do. So if you got that one correct, good job. Next one, do not type it in the chat until I say so. The next one is a cause and effect question, which we talked a lot about last week. You know, this happened and this happened because of it. So it says, it was very quiet in the classroom when the fire alarm rang. The students lined up quickly at the door. They walked outside calmly and lined up in a field. What happened because the fire alarm rang? A, students played outside in a field. B, the classroom got very, very quiet. Or C, students lined up and went outside. Everyone has about 30 seconds. Think about it. Is it A, B, or C? What happened because the fire alarm rang? A, students played outside in the field. B, the classroom got very, very quiet. Or C, students lined up and went outside. Have your answer in your brain. What do you think it is? Does anyone want to raise their hand and tell me what the answer is? Jaden, unmute yourself. Tell me what the answer is, sir.
C.
The correct answer is C. The fire alarm rang. People had to go outside. If you got the correct answer as C, good job. Give yourself another tally. If you didn't get the correct answer, that's okay. The next one is on character traits. So that'd be like a character's personality, okay? Number 3, Sarah took a long time deciding on her new car. She had a mechanic check out the engine. She checked online for its ratings. She didn't rush into buying anything. How is Sarah behaving? Is she behaving generously, like she's super giving? Is she behaving happily? We all know what happy is. Or is she behaving cautiously, like, taking my time? You have about 30 seconds to think of this answer. How is Sarah behaving? Generously? Happily? Cautiously? How is Sarah behaving? Remember, don't type it in my chat. I'm going to call on someone to answer it. Olivia, I see your hand up. Olivia, how is she behaving? You have to unmute yourself. All right. Olivia, you didn't unmute yourself, but I read what you said. I read your lips, and you said cautiously. The correct answer is C, cautiously, meaning she's taking her time. She's not rushing into it. She's researching, looking up reviews, all that shenanigans. So if you said C, cautiously, give yourself a tally mark. Good job. If you didn't say C, that's okay. We got more to go. Next is compare and contrast. We know what comparing is. We know what that means. We're taking two things and we're seeing how they're alike or how they're different. I don't know what this person's name is, so I'm just going to call her Anna. Anna and Lee both love outdoor sports. Since Anna lives in California, she swims a lot. She's thinking about joining a swim team. Lee lives in Vermont and is the best skier in her class. What is one difference between Anna and Lee? A, Anna cannot swim as well as Lee. B, both girls are good at skiing. Or C, Anna swims and Lee skis. We should not be typing the answer in the chat. Remember, I'm going to call on someone. Give everyone a chance to answer. James, why don't you tell me?
C.
The correct answer is C. Anna swims and Lee skis. So that is a different. We could, if that question was, what is one similarity? It could be something like they both love outdoor sports. But this one was asking for a different, okay? Yeah, I don't know why it was 3 times in a row. That's just how it happens. No big deal. So if you got C correct, give yourself a tally mark. If you didn't get C correct, that's okay. No big deal. The next one. This is on details. So tiny little things in our story. Details. Details are not the main idea. They add to the main idea, okay? So, basketball began in 1891 when a PE teacher needed an indoor activity on a rainy day. He made up a list of rules and nailed a peach basket to a wall. At first, the bottom was still on the basket, so the ball did not fall through. Who invented the game of basketball? A PE teacher? B, a list of rules, or C, in 1891? Who invented the game of basketball? First off, only one of these answers is a person. Cadence, can you tell me what letter is the correct choice?
I'm a PE teacher.
A, correct. If you chose A, give yourself a tally mark. If you didn't choose A, you should have chose A because only one of those was a person. Only one of those could have invented something. Okay? Correct answer is A. All right, next is an inference. And sometimes an inference, well, not sometimes, but an inference is where we take the information we have and we kind of have to make a prediction or a guess, okay? Inferences are not something that's laid out straight in our text. So, Margie looked in her cart. She had milk, eggs, bread, and cereal. She headed to the frozen vegetable section. Finally, she decided to buy some apples and bananas in the fruit section. Where is Margie? We're going to make an inference based on her cart and what she was doing. Is she at home? Is she in a grocery store? Is she in a toy store right now? A, B, or C? Where is Margie? Please do not type it in the chat, Corrigan. I've asked that many times. I want everyone to have a chance to answer. No one should be typing the answer in the chat. Olive, you used my little hand raise function. Please tell me the correct answer, Olive. Landon, don't type it in the chat, please. Landon, read this. No,
B.
It is B. Yay. She's in a grocery store, obviously. She has milk and eggs, and she's going to the frozen food section, and she's buying apples and bananas. Clearly, she's at a grocery store, not at a toy store, and she's not at home. Who has a grocery cart at home? Not me, okay? So the answer is B. If you got B correct, please give yourself a tally mark. If you didn't get B, that's okay. No big deal. Next is on main idea. So the central idea, main idea, the focus of the story, okay? This one's a little bit challenging than some of our other ones. Number 7. Honeybees communicate with each other. They can tell other bees where to find food. Honeybees return to the hive and do a dance that lets the other bees know where the food is located. What is the main idea of the selection? Honeybees can talk to other bees. Honeybees fly to far locations for food. Honeybees dance to communicate. What is the main idea of the selection? This one's a little bit challenging. Think about what the overall thing is. This one's a little bit challenging because we're talking about the main idea. It's not explicitly said. Wow, now everyone's raising their hand. Presley, I think your hand was up.
Honeybees talk to each other.
All right, so I would, if I was actually grading this, I would accept A or C because it is about how they communicate with each other, but C says how they communicate. So C is telling us that they communicate and how they communicate by dancing. So technically C is a better option, but I totally understand why we would also pick A because bees talk to each other, okay? Bees communicate, but technically C is the better option. So if you had A or C, I will take either of those answers. If you had A or C, give yourself a check. I told you that one was a harder one. C is just better because it's saying that they communicate and how they communicate, okay? That one was trickier. Next one, word meaning. Ooh, we're going to have to use some context clues. Dun, 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 dun. Word meaning. The school nurse could see that Amber was in distress. She had thrown up after lunch and her forehead felt very hot to the touch. What is the meaning of the underlined word? The underlined word is distressed. So what does distressed mean? Does it mean the school clinic? Does it mean comfortable? Does it mean good health? Does it mean great pain? What does distress mean? Landon Cowgill, your hand is up. Tell me, what does distress mean?
It means great pain.
Yes. If she's throwing up and her head is hot to the touch like a fever, clearly she's not comfortable and clearly she's not in good health. And I don't know how that would mean school clinic. So the only answer choice is D. If you got D, please give yourself a tally mark and wherever you're keeping track. If you had D, good job. Oh, another author's purpose. Is it to inform, entertain, or persuade? Number 9. We are on number 9. Mrs. Kneifel's getting tired of reading. Oh my goodness. I need to find some water. All right. Everyone's hand should clearly be down because I haven't read it yet. Horses come in all kinds of color. A dark brown horse with black legs is called a bay. A horse that is the color of a new penny is called a sorrel. If a horse has a large black and white patches of color, it is called a paint. What is the purpose of this selection? A, to persuade readers to buy a colorful horse. B, to inform readers about different horse colors. C, to entertain with a horse story. Hannah D, your hand is up. What do we think, guys? Well, Hannah D, not guys, Hannah D.
B.
Yay, it is B. This whole little paragraph was just to tell us about different names of horses, Well, the different colors of horses and the names of those.
Mrs. Knivel,
Yeah.
can we go a little slower?
Yes. Sorry, I did go kind of fast.
And when people use the raise the hand thing, it pops up on my screen, and then I can't see the answer choices.
Oh, okay. Well, how about people just try to raise your hand less, or wait till I say raise your hand or something? Or really, I can see you guys raising your hand in actual real time because their videos are on. So you can just show me your hand by raising it up, and I can see it. Okay. But the correct answer was B, to inform.
I don't see any answer choices.
Well, the answer choices are just on my paper, Landon. Okay. If you had B, please give yourself a tally mark. If you didn't have B, that's okay. We still got more to go. We are on number 10 now. Number 10 is a cause and effect. Okay. Remember, if you want to answer, just raise your hand up. I'll be able to see it. Okay. Or maybe I'll just start calling on people for fun too, because Mrs. Knifel's feeling fun. Farmer Brown's pet mule kept running away. He was getting tired of chasing and catching him, so he decided to build a better fence. The mule never ran away again. Why did Farmer Brown build a fence? So this is a cause and effect. Why did Farmer Brown build a fence? A, he was getting old and tired. B, his pet mule kept running away. C, he wanted people off his grass. There was only one answer that makes sense, friends, okay? There's only one answer that makes sense. Angelina, tell me what answer, ma'am.
It's B. His pet mule kept running away.
Yeah, his mule kept running away, so he built a better fence. We didn't hear anything about grass, and, maybe the farmer is old and tired, but that's not why he built a fence, okay? So the correct answer is B. If you got B correct, please give yourself a tally mark. Number 11 is on character traits. Remember, this is describing a character's personality or describing how a character's feeling in a certain situation, etc., etc. So, Annalyn worked on her science project every night for several weeks. On the day of the science fair, she smiled as her new blue ribbon pinned to her poster board. How did Anna feel about her project? Was she A, embarrassed, B, proud, or C, pleasant? How did Anna feel about her project? She was smiling. She worked on it for weeks. How was she feeling about her projects? Let me look at some people and click someone random. Someone random. Brichelle, why don't you tell me how Anna's feeling about her project?
Proud.
Yeah, she's feeling proud. She worked on it for weeks. She's standing by it. She has a smile on her face. She got a blue ribbon. She's feeling proud. If you said proud B, give yourself a check mark, or a tally mark. Go you. We are almost halfway done. I got lots of these because I think they're fun and they're a good way to practice. All right. Next one is compare and contrast. Remember, sometimes we're looking for similar things or we're looking for differences, okay? Some jobs provide services. There's 24 cards total and we're on number 12. Some jobs provide services. Teachers and police officers are examples of jobs that service the public. Other jobs produce good. A baker creates yummy desserts to eat. Now, the question is, how are teachers and policemen alike? Not different, alike. A, these jobs mainly produce goods. B, police officers only work with adults. Or C, these jobs both serve the public. If you want to answer, have your hand up. I may click or I may choose you. Remember, you don't have to actually raise your hand in the raise a hand thing. I'll see your hand. I see you. Presley, girlfriend, stop waving your hand like that. Molly. What answer do we think it is, Miss Molly O'Brien?
C.
It is C. They both service the public. It literally says they serve the public.
Miss Mysterious Molly.
Yeah. Obviously, I
No, nothing, Mark.
goods. Police officers don't only work with adults, so our answer is C. If you got C correct, give yourself a tally mark. Good job. Give yourself a tally mark if you got that correct. Okay. We are on details. Details, details, details. Remember, details add to the main idea. Stacy and Dave love field day at school. Stacy likes short races and Dave is the best at long races. They're going to do an egg toss together. What event will Stacy and Dave do together? Goodness. Sorry. Just had to sneeze.
That was you.
Yeah, I sneezed.
That sounded like a kid.
Oh goodness, Mrs. Kneifel needs some water. Dylan Kelly, what event will they do together? A, egg toss, B, short race, or C, long race?
A, egg toss.
You are correct. That is what they will do together. Way to go. If you guessed A, give yourself a tally mark. Oh my goodness. Mrs. Kneifel's throat. Ugh. All right. Next one is on inferences. Remember, inferences are when we have to oh, I just almost knocked down my, you know what, Mrs. Kneifel's a mess today. Never mind, sorry. Inferences. It's when you kind of have to make a prediction. You take the information you're given, and then you draw a conclusion about it. Inferences. Sonia skipped to the barn. She put her helmet and boots on. She went outside and whistled for her horse. It was a great day for a ride. Which of the following is probably true? Sonia knows how to ride horses. A. B. Sonia loves to whistle. Or C. Sonia will take her bike out on a trail. Which is probably true? Which answer is probably true? Does she know how to ride horses, love to whistle, or likes to take her bike out on trails? Jessica Tabler. Jessica Tabler said A. I agree with you, Jessica. She clearly probably knows how to ride a horse if she's calling for her horse and she has on a helmet, which you're supposed to ride a helmet when you ride horses because, you know, you can get thrown off. And she had her boots on. She did whistle for her horse, but that doesn't mean she loves to whistle. And it said nothing about bike. So the correct answer is A. If you said A, give yourself a tally mark. If you didn't say A, that's okay. That's okay. Next one. Main idea. I repeat, main idea. What it's all about. Remember, this main idea was the harder one earlier, so you got to think of the whole entire paragraph, not just small little bits. Every living thing needs food. Plants make their own food. Some animals eat plants and some eat other animals. Human beings eat both plants and animals. Which sentence best expresses the main idea? A. Animals like to eat other animals. B. All living things need some kind of food. C. Plants and humans make their own food. Which one is the best answer choice? Okay, this one's a little bit harder. What is the best answer choice? I'm going to click on someone random, I think. I'm looking at my names. Miss Addison Bootcheck, what do you think? Which one is the best sentence for the main idea? Addison Bootcheck. What is the best sentence for the... Did you say it?
My microphone is being so weird today.
All right,
Can you hear me?
Because I can hear you. So, yep, I can hear you. A, B, or C?
B.
I agree. The answer is B. all living things need some kind of food. It wasn't just about animals. We didn't talk about how humans can make their own food, but they can, because like if I fix a salad, I'm fixing my own salad. But the main idea was that all things, all living things, whether plants, animals, humans, need some type of food. So the correct answer is B. If you got B correct, please give yourself a tally. If you did not get B correct, that's okay. No big deal. Word meaning, oh snap, context clues. Dun, 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 dun. Context clues. Beth was repairing her room. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Not repairing, repainting. Let me try again. Beth was repainting her room. She decided just one more coat of paint and she'd be finished. What is the meaning of the underlined word? The underlined word is coat. Is it A, outer garment worn to keep warm? B, layer. C, the fur of an animal. Or D, a winter jacket. So all of these are correct. But which, or all of these are not all of them are correct, sorry. All of these have to do with a coat, but we're talking about a specific type of coat. What type of coat are we talking about, Brooklyn? What type of coat are we talking about, Brooklyn? Yes, it is B, a layer. A coat of paint would be a layer of paint. Obviously, you're not going to be able to paint with a jacket. You're not going to be able to paint with a garment to keep warm. You're not going to be able to paint with fur of an animal. So, the correct answer is B, layer. If you got that correct, give yourself a tally mark. Woot, woot.
This looks naturally. You technically could paint with the fur of an animal because you can use that as
Okay,
a
you could, but we're probably not gonna. I mean, yeah, I could put my coat in a jar of paint and rub it on a wall, but I don't think that would look very nice. Okay, so we're gonna go with B, layer. All right, author's purpose. Entertain, persuade, or inform. What's the author trying to do here? The rabbit challenged the turtle to a race. There was no way the turtle could win, so the rabbit took a nap in the middle of the race. By the time he woke up, it was too late. The turtle had run the race. What is the author's purpose? A, to persuade readers to take daily naps. That'd be nice. I would love a daily nap. B, to share information about turtles and rabbits. C, to entertain readers with an amusing story. What are we thinking? I'm going to pick someone random again. I'm going through my names. Someone I haven't clicked on. Who have I not clicked on? Bryden Weaver. What do you think? Bryden Weaver. A, B, or C? Why did the author write this? Bryden Weaver.
Real quick, can you repeat them again? I need to think about it.
Yes. Why did the author write this story? A, to persuade readers to take daily naps. B, to share information about turtles and rabbits. Or C, to entertain readers with an amusing, which means funny, story.
Okay, thanks.
I think C, but I'm not 100% sure.
I would agree with you, Mr. Bryden, because this is just a silly story. Obviously, in real life, rabbits and turtles aren't racing each other. So it's not going to be about actual informations of turtles and rabbits because they didn't give us any real life information. And it just talked about how the rabbit took a nap, not telling us we should also take naps, although I would love a nap. But that's besides the point. So I agree with you, Bryden. The correct answer is C. If you got the answer correct, C, give yourself a tally. If you didn't get it correct, that's okay. Next one, cause and effect. We worked with this one a ton last week. Cause and effect. Sarah decided to paint the walls in her room a different color. She knew she had to be very careful not to get paint on the carpet. Sarah used a plastic sheet to protect the rug. Question. Why did Sarah put plastic on the rug? A, she didn't want to get paint on it. B, she thought about painting the walls. Or C, she made a good decision. Why did she put plastic on the rug? I'm going to pick someone random. You better be on the hunt, or you better know, because I might pick you. Eden, what do you think? A, B, or C? Why did she put plastic on the rug? Eden, going once, going twice. Eden Swanson, are you there?
A.
It is A. She didn't want to get paint on the rug. So that was the effect of her not wanting to get paint on the rug. So cause, didn't want to get paint on the rug. Effect, put plastic down. If you got A correct, or if you guessed A, please give yourself a tally mark. If you didn't get A correct, now you know what the correct answer is. Character traits. How's this actor feel, or how's the character feeling? How are they acting? These are personality things. As Mom was carrying in the groceries, she tripped over a bike that had been left in the driveway. She shouted, "How many times must I tell you to put your bike in the garage?" Ooh. How could the bike owner be described? So the owner of the bike is not the mom, because the mom's yelling at someone. So could the owner of the bike be described as helpful? A. B. Irresponsible. Or C. Caring. How can the owner of the bike be described? How can the owner of the bike be described? Isabella H. What do you think, ma'am? Isabella H.
B.
Yes, irresponsible. The mom's saying, how many times must I tell you to do this? Meaning that more than once they have not done it. So the correct answer is irresponsible. Okay, so B. If you chose B, please give yourself a tally. Give yourself a tally mark. All right, compare and contrast. Remember, sometimes we're looking for the same, sometimes we're looking for different, okay? George Washington was the first president of the United States. He led the soldiers during the American Revolution. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president. He served during the Civil War. Contrast Washington and Lincoln. So that means find something different about them. A, they both were presidents. B, both were involved with war. Or C, Washington was the first president and Lincoln was the 16th. Contrast means different. Compare means same. Contrast means different. Two of those are similar and one of them is different. Corgan, since you keep on saying me, please answer for me so you can stop saying me. Corgan? I'm going to disagree with you, Corgan. That would be a compare. That's the same. Contrast means different. I need something different. Someone else. Elijah, do you want to give it a try?
B.
All right, so that would be the same too, okay? So if they were both involved in the war, that would be the same. And remember, contrast, we want something different. So that means our only option is answer C. Washington was the first president and Lincoln was the 16th. So if it said compare Washington and Lincoln, then it would have been A and B. But since it said contrast, that means it's C. So I know that one was kind of tricky. So if you didn't get that one correct, no big deal. If you did get it correct, please give yourself a tally. Washington was the first president and Lincoln was the 16th. All right, some of you guys are looking not very focused. I might be calling on you. Details. Polar bears live where temperatures are cold in places like Alaska and Canada. Polar bears like to eat small mammals, birds, and seals. Oh. Where do polar bears live? In places with a lot of birds to eat. B, near the equator. Or C, in cold places. Where do polar bears live? This is a detail of our story. Who can I call on? Landon Rebus? What do you think, Landon Rebus? Landon Rebus? Going once, going twice. Is Landon Rebus alive and well?
I'm still reading it.
I read it to you.
I know.
Polar bears live where temperatures are cold in places like Alaska and Canada. Polar bears like to eat small mammals, birds, and seals. Where do polar bears live? In places with lots of birds to eat. B, near the equator. C, in cold places.
I got it.
What do you think?
See?
It is C, they live in cold places. It's definitely not near the equator because near the equator is hotter. So, and they do eat birds, but we don't know specifically that they live in places with lots of birds. It just says they also eat birds. So the correct answer is C, okay? If you did not get that one correct, that's okay. If you did get it correct, give yourself a tally mark. Give yourself a tally mark. You guys are doing pretty good. All right, inferences. Dun, da, da, da. Another one. Remember, you got to draw a conclusion based off of what we read. It is not as an explicit answer. It does not tell us the answer directly. We have to read it for ourselves and find the answer. Learning to play the piano is hard work. A person needs to learn how to read music. It takes hours and hours of practice to be able to play the music correctly. Which of the following is most likely true? A, good piano players practice a lot. B, it's easy to play piano. C, reading music is difficult. Which one makes the most sense? Which one is most likely true? Who have I not called on yet? Mr. Julian, would you like to answer this for me, sir? Which is most likely true? A, good piano players practice a lot. B, it's easy to play piano. Or C, reading music is difficult.
What was the first one?
Good piano players practice a lot.
I think it's that one.
I agree with you. It is A. Good piano players practice a lot. We know piano is not easy to play because it literally says learning piano is hard work. It didn't say anything about reading music, so it wouldn't be that one. So our only answer could be A. Good piano players practice a lot. If you got A correct, give yourself a tally mark.
Yes, it did. It said something about reading music.
Oh yeah, the person needs to learn how to read music. I lied. It
Yeah,
did
but
say
they never
something
said how
about it.
hard it was, Landon.
But it didn't say how hard it was. It just said they needed to learn it. But yeah, you are correct. It was in there. Sorry. All these paragraphs are running together now. But yes, the whole entire thing was that they needed to practice a lot because they have to practice how to learn music. They have to practice, just how to do everything. I used to play piano when I was a kid. Let me tell you, I wasn't very good at it. I'm not very good at reading music and not my forte. If you can play piano, pat yourself on the back, go you. Main idea. Remember, these main idea ones are kind of like the hardest ones, I feel like. Thomas Edison was born in 1847. His first great invention was the phonograph, a machine that could record sound. He also made a motion picture camera and a usable electric light bulb, which we already know because we read the story in Inventor's Secret. So, question. What is the main idea of this paragraph? A, Edison was a great inventor. B, Edison was an excellent student. C, Edison is the reason music can be recorded. What is the main reason for this paragraph? The main reason. Rochelle, your cat is stalking you from behind. It's cracking me up. Someone I haven't called on. There's so many of you. Sorry if I don't ever call on you. There's just so many of you. Jacob Kozub, are you here? Jacob Kozub, do you know the answer to this question? Jacob Kozub, A, B, or C? Jacob Kozub? Jacob Kozub? All right, Jacob's MIA. So Paisley, tell me, Paisley.
Number A.
That's a letter, but yes. A. Yeah, Edison was a great inventor. That is the main idea, what the whole thing is about. And we have one more word meaning. Dun, da, da, da. Context clues coming our way. Context clues. Daniel was depressed about his dog running away. So supper that night was a joyless time for the family. What is the meaning of the underlined word? First off, we know what less means. That means without. So we should be able to figure this out easy. Joyless is our word underlined. Does it mean not depressed? B, having a great joy. C, without joy. D, full of joy. What does it mean? Mrs. Knifel kind of already said the answer. Haley Summers, what do you think, ma'am?
C.
It is. It means without joy. If you're joyless, that means you're without joy. So, anyone want to tell me how many you got correct, incorrect? Just, I mean, if you don't want to, it's totally fine. Nolan got 21 right. Landon, how many did you get, bud?
R or Landon Rivas?
Oh, Landon Cowgill, because your hand was up.
I got 24.
All right. So
24.
I've seen a couple other people commented they got all 24 right. If you did not get all 24 right, 20, that's pretty good. If you did not get all 24 right, that is totally okay. The point of this game was just to practice. And I think for the most part, everyone did pretty stinking good. So thank you guys for participating with me. You guys did a really good job. There's not any homework today. Okay. So there's no reading homework. Thank you for participating. Tomorrow we're going to do some more review. But you guys did a good job. Good luck on your math test, okay?
Bye.
Good luck on your math test. I'll see you later, okay? You all have to leave now. Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Good luck on your math test. Good luck on your math test.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck on your math test.